Senior officers from the Nigerian Air Force and members of the Benue State Executive Committee gather at the old banquet hall of the Government House in Makurdi to receive the Chief of Air Staff.
The Governor of Benue State, Barrister Dr. Sambode MNI.
The arrival of the Chief of Air Staff and his host, Governor Hyacinth Alia, marked the beginning of a meeting considered crucial because it just might be the beginning of the end of an over 40-year-old land dispute between the Nigerian Air Force and some communities in the state.
Your Excellency, first and foremost,
the Chief of Air Staff makes his presentation, citing recommendations by a tripartite committee to cede over 800 hectares of the land, accommodating the Tactical Air Command Makurdi.
The Nigerian Air Force acknowledges proposal by the state government for it to see an additional 885 hectares along the eastern boundary of its land to accommodate the development of a proposed Villa Dolias estate and the construction of the Swadiu access road. The potential loss of 1,537.8 hectares of NAF land, translating to a loss of about 34% of the land originally allocated in 1977, would adversely distort the strategic intent of siting the command in Makurdi. Moreover, ceding such significant portion of NAF land will limit the required space for medium and long-term infrastructure development necessary for future operational readiness and capability development.
Governor Hyacinth Alia promises to meet with host communities for further negotiations.
We will still try to get back to the drawing table with the locals and all those with vested interests, the community in this regard. We know that the federal government's interests in making the Nigerian Air Force base in Makurdi has a strategic intent.
Meanwhile, the traditional ruler of the affected communities, His Royal Highness Dominic Akpe, urges the two parties to revert to the 1976 allocation boundary agreement.
We know that it was done and some people came out and did something wrongly. That is the bone of contention. So if you are doing it now, we should do it properly. There are times, if you go back to the survey, they had all the information, the data there. If you want to do something properly, you know what it is.
The meeting reached a consensus. An urgent, mutually beneficial solution is needed for the over 40-year-old land dispute between communities and the Nigerian Air Force in Benue State.